the body or open the coffin. So until this day, we suffering from not knowing if it was really her.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right at all.
So saying that, I would also like to mention that this flag is from Miguel Perez, who was deported, and this is the flag that when he came back, he went and up and get it down to bring it to his father because he was so proud of our country. Saying that, I will start my speech. Good afternoon. My name is Olivia Segura. I am a U.S. citizen. I am a member of Familia Latina Unida. I am a Gold Star mother. I am here today with Esperanza and Miguel Perez. Sir, also they are U.S. citizens. They are the parents of disabled green card veteran Miguel Perez Jr. My daughter Ashley served this country and paid the ultimate sacrifice of her life in Kuwait in 2007. I miss her. I miss her every day. I am proud to honor her life today on Memorial Day. This tremendous loss has taken a toll on my family. We all suffer from grief and anxiety, and my husband Alberto has struggled with the illness of addiction and was convicted of a DUI. Now, the same government that sent my daughter to work to die wants to deport her father. This is a disgrace. My husband is a good man, a wonderful husband, and my family cannot endure another tragedy. The deportation of my husband will destroy my family. I will have to bury my daughter. I have called on Governor Rauner for a pardon for my husband, and he denied this request. He also denied the pardon for Miguel Perez Jr., who has since been deported to Mexico after serving 2 tours in Afghanistan and returned with severe PTSD and a traumatic brain injury.
What is wrong with you?
Miguel was never given the resources necessary to treat these disabilities, and he started to self-medicate with drugs and alcohol. He was convicted of a non-violent drug offense, and this put him into deportation proceedings. He now lives in Tijuana without his family and without direct access to the VA.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
A military budget that is in the billions for bombs, weapons, tanks, jets, ships, but no money for treatment from our veterans when they return from war. No budget for our Gold Star families.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
40% of veterans returning from war are homeless. A veteran commits suicide at least one every hour of every day.
Jesus.
Veterans are the smallest percentage of the U.S. population, but are the largest percentage of any demographic that are incarcerated.
That ain't right.
Green card veterans, after returning disabled, are deported. U.S. veterans who fight and die for this country are rewarded with the deportation of the loved ones.
That ain't right.
This government has betrayed both of our families and has turned his back on these veterans. All veterans deserve to come home from work to proper care and resources and their families, like myself, my own family deserves the same. On this Memorial Day, let us honor the fallen hero, my daughter Ashley, by making sure our government keeps her family together and spares her father from deportation. And let us honor the living by stopping the deportation of green card veterans and bringing Miguel Perez Jr. and the rest of the deported veterans home. Thank you.
God bless you and your family. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That president's a
This
jackass.
is Miguel Perez on the phone right now. We're going to try to amplify his voice to you.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Bring him home.
Bring him home! Bring him home! Bring him home! Bring him home!
Bring him home.
fun. Thank you very much for coming up to the guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I have no idea. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, thank you. That's all I can say. I just say thank you for something good work. It's something every episode of everybody is watching. And, thank you so much for my work. And thank God for every single one of you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bring
you.
him home! Bring him home!
Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Miguel never deserted his country. His country deserted him.
Yes. Sad but true.
War in the USA. Don't take my mommy or my daddy away. Hey, hey.
Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, it works. My name is Arnie Stever. I'm a grandfather, retired business person, and an Army infantry veteran of the U.S. war against the people in Vietnam. Before I start, I want to remind everybody that Memorial Day should be for everybody that died in war. Military, non-military, this country and other countries. So think about that, you know, when we have Memorial Day. There's a lot of people, millions and millions and millions that we killed around the world, and I'd like Memorial Day to remember them also. Okay. Poverty and violence don't just happen. They are the result of actions and inactions. If we had a democracy, a government of we the people, policies would be in place to prevent both poverty and violence. But what we have is a plutocracy, a government controlled by the rich. And the policies they put in place promote poverty and violence. These policies ensure that the rich increase their wealth and that we the people stay in our place and remain pawns. And the corporate media, which is owned by this cabal, do their best to dumb us down and to convince us that we don't have a voice. Here's what we're supposed to ignore. 100,000 people in the U.S. are victims of gun violence each year.
That ain't right.
20% of our children go to bed hungry every night.
That ain't right.
People die or go broke because they can't afford health care.
That ain't right.
60% of our households can't afford a $500 emergency expenditure.
That ain't right.
Yet, somehow, we find over $1 trillion a year to spend on militarization, which the Defense Department budget does not include, by the way, nuclear weapons. That's a whole separate budget that belongs to the Department of Energy. But we don't count that in militarization. And neither does the CIA, the FBI, and the 14 other intelligence, quote-unquote, agencies show up in the military budget. So when you total all those up, about $1 trillion with a T, dollars a year are spent on militarization of our society.
That ain't right.
They want to shut us up. They want us to keep our heads down and wave the flag. We got news for them. We're not buying it. We're going to take direct, nonviolent action beyond the ballot box to ensure that we the people run this country. When I was in the military, we used to sing, we called it cadence. I'm now told it's called Jonies. That was news. And you would be marching along and they'd give you words to sing and, supposedly to boost you up. So I'm going to do a short one, and it's very easy to do. You simply repeat what I say, and it's got a melody to it. I'm not very melodic, so maybe the musicians in the audience can help you. But I'll sing, say a line, and then you simply follow along. So it goes like this. Hey, hey, Uncle Sam.
Hey, Uncle Sam.
What you're selling is a sham.
What you're selling is a sham.
We ain't buying your BS.
We ain't buying your BS.
What? I got it. We're doing what for us is best.
We're doing what for us is best.
One more time. Got a nice group. Hey, Uncle Sam.
Hey, Uncle Sam.
What you're selling is a sham.
What you're selling is a sham.
We ain't buying your BS.
We ain't buying your BS.
We're doing what for us is best.
We're doing what for us is best.
Thank you.
Okay, the delegation that is going to take a letter into the governor's office demanding that the deportation stop and that the pardons be done. Do I see Pastor Emma? Pastor Emma is going to lead that delegation, and it's going to move. The rest of us are going to move down to the intersection, led by the signs, led by the banners, and we're going to move 2 by 2 in this direction to follow.
Time to move.
Make sure you pick up your trash. Do not leave stuff behind. Make sure you clean up after yourself.
It is hot today.
I'll take a picture of you if you take a picture of me. And I'll take a picture
I'll
of you
do
anyway.
recording for my YouTube thing. I do have a YouTube station. Sorry, we can't really tell what you.
Everybody's got a right to live.
Everybody's got a right to live. Let's get information.
Hang as we're moving.
Jesus, wait!
Everybody's got a right to
2 by 2. 2 by 2.
2 by 2.
2 by 2. 2 by 2. 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Shoulder to shoulder. Wait, Marshall first. Marshall first. I love America.
Banners, pause. Unsettling force for liberation, and we got nothing to lose but our change, and we got nothing to lose but our change. We are a new unsettling force, and we are powerful. A new unsettling force, and we're here. A new unsettling force for liberation. We have nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose but our change. We got nothing to lose but our change. We are powerful. A new
Shutting down Monroe. It's shutting down. That means that once we complete the intersection, no more cars. You all go ahead and follow that banner. Step. Yeah. Stop.
Okay, I'm going to end the recording now. Thank you all for joining me. Danielle Beck, sign out. Peace.